Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Reddit stock is dropping off a cliff because it turns out that ChatGPT is not going to be citing them as often as they have been.
Well, they never should have cited them to begin with. I mean, why of all places would you think Reddit was the bastion of integrity and honesty?
This is crazy because it's not just ChatGPT, but it's also Google search, right?
Well, Google made a deal with Reddit, and it's like why you would think training your AI on Reddit was going to be the way to go. That'd be like a couple years later they would have picked Blue Sky. It's never a good idea. I don't know what the hell you were thinking.
Yeah, it's a bunch of user-generated content coming from definitely mostly far left activists. I mean, even
all factual, no bias at all.
Yeah, right. And this is the same problem with Wikipedia. And I talked about that yesterday. That Wikipedia, even some of the longtime editors at Wikipedia are like, yeah, this site is compromised. It's overrun with left-wing activists.
Oh, we could have told you that how many years ago?
Oh God, like 15. Yeah, I told people the story about what happened with our comic. That we had people that didn't like us. And 15 years ago, like if somebody personally had a grudge against you on Wikipedia, they would weaponize it. Mm-hmm. But Reddit's the same way, and people keep using Reddit to attack people. We get people that are just completely obsessed with us on Saltier Than Crate, and they keep writing shit because they know that Google's going to pick it up, the ChatGPT is going to pick it up. But I think that's ending.
They care. They're just salty and they don't know how to shut up. Yeah, they're just
whatever. But I think that this is changing. I think they realize Reddit is hurting our credibility because people are just posting whatever bullshit on Reddit, and then ChatGPT is taking it and synthesizing false information. So we'll see what happens. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com. Sign up for notifications when we drop videos. And also, we have paywalled content out there, $5 a month. Help support the channel. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the stock, and then let's talk about why. Because Reddit right now, the only purpose that it has is to be an information dispenser, I guess, for Google and ChatGPT and all these other search engines.
Well, I think it's just a place people can just go to shoot the shit and make up stuff or complain about stuff or
spray the shit.
Whatever. They shoot it, then it sprays.
Shoot and spray. It sounds like one of those kids' water toys or something. It's like, it's Mr. Octopus, the shoot and spray.
Yeah, or something. But that's what it is. It's they go there and spew all kinds of rhetoric and then, their opinions, and then everybody says, oh, that's fact.
Yeah.
ChatGPT says.
Well, that's the thing. ChatGPT, I've worked with it before, and I'm like, where the hell are you getting this from? It's like, oh, well, according to Reddit. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, that's your first problem.
That's your first problem. So apparently this is going to end. But here's what's going on with the stock. They said Reddit stock falls for second day as references to its content and ChatGPT responses plummet. They said the stock fell roughly 12% on Wednesday. Oh, that's bad. 12% on Wednesday, extending a decline from the previous trading session amid new data that showed the use of its content in ChatGPT had plummeted in mid-September. Reddit content was cited in just 2% of ChatGPT responses on Tuesday, much lower than the 9.7% of ChatGPT responses the previous month.
But it was still too high. Should have been zero.
It should have been zero. And before that, it was 15%. I know most queries that I have done with ChatGPT or Google, 9 times out of 10 they cite Reddit or Wikipedia.
I'm not saying that all that information is incorrect, but I can guarantee you it's going to have a lot of skewed responses around it.
Yeah. Now it seems like it's going up a little bit here, but it's still, I think people are like, well, wait a second. If that's where a lot of traffic comes from, what are we going to do here? They said still Reddit was the top social platform cited by the leading AI chatbot, with its content surfacing in 4.3% of their responses on average in September. LinkedIn, the second most cited social platform, was referenced in only 0.4% of ChatGPT's answers. They said Reddit is often used as a social media version of a search engine. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Huge mistake. With users frequently appending Reddit to online queries when looking for advice or instructions.
It's funny to me, though, because people, when they learned that they were going to use it to train ChatGPT, they were deliberately trying to poison pill the shit out of ChatGPT and the AI searches by putting misinformation up there on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. They were poisoning it. Yeah. So here's the thing, like Reddit, they knew it was going to be a problem when the AI search came in, because it's going to go out to all the websites. People just go to Reddit and see, what's trending. And, they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? Because it's going to cut search traffic off to us. But they made a deal with Google, and, now ChatGPT is like, yeah, we don't really need you.
Well, it's funny though, because back then, that's when they started telling people to use glue to hold their cheese on their pizza and stuff like that. Yeah. It was coming from places like Reddit.
The users on Reddit, I can guarantee you, most of them now are very anti-AI, and they're also anti-capitalist. Like, I know when they were going to start charging for the API, which most sites do, they were shrieking about that. And then they're talking they might have to paywall Reddit, and you might have to pay for that. I'm like, bitch, I was on Reddit like freaking 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah, but back then you could have used it to train, and it would have been mostly fact-based, because there's a lot of like sciencey type people on there.
It was mostly
now it's just
engineers,
am I the asshole? Sorry, the great.
So
I hate Trump 90% of the time.
Yeah, I hate Trump. So I had a theory yesterday I was talking about with Wikipedia, because Elon Musk is supposedly going to try to compete with Wikipedia, because it too is compromised. Anytime you have a large platform that is heavily cited and is also free, it's like catnip to these activists, because they like the megaphone. They don't have to get paid for it. They like the megaphone. How so many communities, nerd communities, got compromised was they were looking for volunteers, and it was a huge platform. Hey, you want to be a community manager for this game that's a big deal everybody's talking about? Oh, hell yeah. You don't have to pay me. I'm just gonna park it there, and then I'm gonna troll, and I'm gonna spout off my political opinions. I'm gonna whatever. And it's the same with Reddit. It was too easy to use. And there's a theory that I guess when Occupy Wall Street happened, that's when we started getting infected with a bunch of like far left activists.
Gosh, that was so long ago.
Because back then it was, when I started using it, it was just like, okay, nerds telling other nerds how to do stuff and sharing memes. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Twitter
but that's
now.
What happened, and then they start coming in. It's just funny to me, because I was at Wikipedia, and I can tell you that a lot of schools and teachers won't even accept it as a source, because it's so biased and cheated and full of shit.
So here's an article on it. The tradable ChatGPT is moving away from Reddit as a source. They said AI is changing fast, so are the information sources. ChatGPT may be pulling back from Reddit. Once a gold mine for conversational training data. If true, this marks a turning point. So here's what happened.
It wasn't a gold mine.
It wasn't a gold mine. It was
pyrite. Gold mine is picking your nose.
So Andrea Bossani said apparently ChatGPT is not using Reddit much anymore for their answers. I guess they realize what random people say can't be considered a trusted source.
I know. I never understood this. I was like, Reddit? That's your trusted news? Okay.
This guy here says it's a massive shift. Reddit represented less than 5% of ChatGPT's retrieval citations. The drop from 12% to less than 1% in September suggests OpenAI either deprioritized crowdsourced content for quality control, got burned by hallucinations from Reddit misinformation, or faced legal pressure after the Google Reddit deal.
Could have been. It could have been any of the above. Could have been all of the above.
Yeah. So Google, though, Reddit's got to watch it, because Google, and I did a video on this not too long ago, they're actually going to add a Reddit-like feature to their search engine.
Well, of course they are. That's what they're going to do. That's Google. That's what Google always does. They go find somebody that's doing what they want to do, but doing it well. Either assimilate them or make a deal with them and appropriate their stuff and then take it anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. That's that. Yeah. I mean, if they wouldn't have bought YouTube, they would have just created their own YouTube. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's better. Actually, a company I worked for.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go into details as to which company it was, but there was a company I worked for a number of years. And our CEO went out to Google because Google was interested in acquiring the company. And our CEO went out and they wined him and dined him and whatever, and then decided not to buy our company. But he said, I'm better off selling the company to them because they know enough about us that they could literally just compete with us tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you probably gave them a bunch more information.
Yeah. I'm sure he did, because but that's the thing. I mean, these big corporations, like if they offer to buy you out, you almost have to take the offer, because if you don't take the offer, they will just destroy you. That's
it's not
kinda
right, but it is what it is. Yeah, and the guy would have done it too because he was complete arse, and he would have totally done it and put the shaft to all the employees if it made him richer, which politician shocker.
He did sell the company eventually, but he wasn't.
Oh, he did sell it?
Yeah, he did sell it. He sold to a competitor, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was sold.
Yeah, you're welcome, Ned. You're welcome. Because I helped develop the one product that got Google's attention.
It's true. Actually, you helped. You pretty much did it, but that's a whole other story.
That's a whole nother story. Anyway, Marcel here says, "What are they using?" ? Andrea Bassani says they have a bunch of experts imprisoned in the basement, and that explains a lot. Yeah, it's great news.
It never made sense. It never made sense. When you first told me this, I was like, Reddit. That's going to be their authoritative source. Reddit.
Yeah. So yeah, it blows my mind. Like Reddit is just, Reddit used to be the most authoritative site on the internet. Like all the nerds went to Reddit. All the scientists, like you said, went to Reddit. And now it's just
well, a lot
activists.
of people still go. You have to say a lot of people still go there, but it's not going to be like, a unbiased necessarily truthful response. It's going to be an activist-y leaning response, most likely.
Activisty. There we go. That's going to be my new search engine.
I put the fist.
Activista. Activista, where we just give you wrong answers.
Activista. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, wrong answers all the time. Everything's racist. If you search for something and it doesn't like it, it's going to say, "I can't do that, Dave. That's racist."
That's right. You're all Yahtzees.
You're a Nazi, Dave. I can't do that. What changes for users? The trade-off's real. You'll probably get more consistent, fact-based answers, but that quirky, community-driven personality quirk, is that what we're calling it? Reb brought the responses that might be fading. This looks like it. This reads like it was written by AI, this article. But it just shows that they're... Yep, they said Reddit's pullback shows where AI is headed, credibility over chaos. There we go. Reddit itself knows it has a problem. This was a couple months ago. Reddit is basically a left-wing echo chamber, and it's hurting honest discussion.
No, you only figured that out then. You only figured it out then.
I think this person's like, this is unpopular opinion. Oh, it's been deleted. Their username has been deleted. Oh my God. So they probably
got dogpiled.
They probably got dogpiled. I think this dynamic exists for a few reasons. Reddit's user base is heavily young, urban, and college educated, which tends to correlate with more liberal views. Didn't used to be that way. That's fine in and of itself, but when that demographic becomes dominant, it shapes the norms of discussion. It becomes abnormal. Everything becomes abnormal. Social validation culture. Upvotes and downvotes turn nuanced issues into popularity contests. Mod bias and subreddit rules. Many subs have vague rules about hate speech or misinformation that are selectively enforced. That is 100% true. That's been the case for years. Like I know with the Comicsgate thing, Comicsgate at one point in time was one of the biggest topics in the comic book industry, and you were not even allowed to mention the word on the comic book subreddit, even though it's the biggest comic book news. It was kind of like COVID on YouTube. You couldn't talk about it, even though it was affecting like the entire world. You weren't allowed to talk about it. It was Voldemorted. In fear of backlash, people don't speak up. They don't push back because they know they're going to get dogpiled. Actually, I would say normal people don't use Reddit anymore.
Yeah, I hardly ever use Reddit. I've never really used Reddit that much.
And I think if these search engines, and ChatGPT is being used basically as a search engine by a lot of people now, I think as that continues, and if they diminish Reddit's voice, then it could go away. I mean, it could at some point in time just get gone. I don't think people will miss it anymore because it's not what it was intended. What it is now is not what it was intended to be, right? Anyway.
Sorry, I don't know if I had to answer that or not. Yeah.
I was like, do
I answer that or no?
Everybody knows the answer. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.